big source has given hope that the antagonist of Sonic Forces could return in future main series Sonic games, despite one rather big issue to get around. Even though it is a bog standard, boring, average game, Sonic Forces did a really cool thing in introducing us to Infinite, who is a really cool villain with a great concept behind him that was unfortunately, in my opinion, done wrong by the story that he was involved in. Now, after a question on Twitter about what happened to the Angry Weasel, Morio Kishimoto, the director of Sonic Frontiers, answered by saying Infinite is a character from the main series, so I wouldn't be surprised if he appears in future titles. This is huge for a number of reasons and makes us ask the question, should Infinite return? Despite our feelings towards Forces, one of the things a lot of people, myself included, agree on is that Infinite was a great idea for an antagonist. He has interesting powers, cool design, and so much potential to be an actual major threat to Sonic. But alas, he was given a poor backstory and a weak narrative throughout Forces. So a second chance at redemption for Infinite, and by second chance and redemption I'm talking about an interesting retcon story that actually uses him to more of his potential, would be something I'd be on board with. I'd love to see him take revenge on Sonic for the events of Forces, but we'd have to see some solid story beats in order to make it work properly. You know, it's not like he's Zavok or anything like that. There is no point in shoehorning him in. But there is a small issue that I brought up earlier. It's just a little problem that apparently Infinite's dead. You see, according to my handy encyclopedia that I just keep on me at all times, Infinite, after his final defeat, he and his prototype are consumed by the original Phantom Ruby. So yeah, he's dead, apparently. So I guess the question is, are we doing revival shenanigans again? It's not the first time we've had a character revived in this series. You know, if I had a nickel for every time a character was revived, I'd have 2 nickels. Essentially, there is a precedent there. So a well-constructed revival would work, as long as they do it well, consistent, and, you know, it makes sense. I think it will work. We can couple that with the fact we never technically saw Infinite die either. He just sort of flew off and never returned, and it's only through the encyclopedia that we get any confirmation of what actually happened to him. So it's definitely within the realm of possibility for Infinite to return, and I feel that as long as the story was done well, we had some solid plot beats, I think I'd be really on board with that, to be honest. But then again, that question of should they bring back Infinite, they could just move on without him. I genuinely wouldn't be averse to him being forgotten, but I also think that Infinite was a good concept with so much unrealized potential, so I'd welcome him back in a quality main series title. And I'd also be really interested to see him interact with Sage. So obviously we are way away from finding out if Infinite would return in a main series title, and I want to say right now, I would rather him be lost to time than have him be brought back poorly. But with the right plot, the right writers, and the right game, I feel like it could be an absolute winner. Now, there's no chance, of course, that he'll return in Sonic Frontiers. I'm not expecting that, but there is new stuff coming to Frontiers, which is really, really cool. So if you haven't checked that out already, or you want some new thoughts on it, why don't you check this video out next? It's going to give you all of the information that you need, as well as what I reckon is going to actually come in those vague plot points that they gave. But make sure you hit subscribe either way.